There we go. Okay. Welcome. Let's see. Didn't think I would get this far. Alright. Cool. How you guys doing? Hopefully this translate thing will work. It seems to be kind of bugging in and out here. Like, it needs to be on, or at least it needs to be like active, which makes it a little tricky because I have to have it. What if I should use the website 1 version instead? Because I'm using the extension one. Yeah, I think that worked a little better. So let me quickly, hopefully, I think when I do gameplay, I'm able to use the OBS, and then that works a little better, I think. Using the XC version. Okay. Yeah, once we get in here, I'll have to switch. Or I can do studio mode. Let's see. I do not. What translation says it that? Hang on. What am I doing? Way too many things here. Okay. Translation, properties. Use. Don't use Chrome EXE. Use. Can't tell if that'll work, but maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah. These always seem to be a little weird. Anyway, yeah, I'm doing okay. Hope you're doing okay. I'm gonna switch over here and see if this still goes. Oh, it's still going. Okay. Time will tell with that, though. Okay. Slowly still send up, so that's why we're still getting everything going here. I think we'll start in just a sec. I think my music stopped anyway, so might as well get in here and tilt that down. I was pretty prepared, you know. There's always like, well, let me try and do a couple more last minute adjustments and see what happens. Cool. Okay. Anyway, welcome. Hi. Alrighty. Happy February. Happy February. I got some cool little almost physics. The physics almost makes sense with my little heart dangles. Hope you guys are doing good. Let me know. So I think I'm live. Haven't seen anyone chat yet though. So let me know. No one's saying hello to me yet. I'd say from the people who already started before we started. So still trying to mess with some stuff here, but we'll be fine. But anyway, yeah. Welcome, Judd and Cookie. Hopefully you're doing good. So let's see. Did these as sketches last night, so try to get a little warmed up, but we'll see. It's not that rough, but at least it's pretty cute. Hopefully. I'm just paranoid that my stream's not even live, but yep, it should be. I mean, I'm literally watching my feed here, so It says the end stream, so that means I am streaming, so okay. I'll make sure before I get too far off out here. But yeah, let's see. Alrighty. Let's see. I think I just want to make some new nodes just for now. I think I have caps lock on. Or not. There we go. That'll do. And I want to rename this one. Probably I'll get into this, what we're doing, in just a bit. I just rename some stuff here. So I can understand what I'm doing. This will be the same thing of P. I'm gonna noodle this together into here. Okay. Just want to get that set up. Probably need another one when we get into it, but that'll at least be good for now. Okay. Whew. Hey, oh. Sorry. I never know how to, like, start things. Once I kind of get going, I'm like, you know, I get out of, like, a little bit of a roll, like, you know, like a snowball kind of effect, where it's like, I don't know how to say hello, but as soon as we get to how you doing, and then I get more comfortable later on, so my weird, like, I don't know, waking up kind of high awkwardness, kind of get past that. But yeah, good to see you. Let's see. I'm not sure where to start. Let me move this over just a snag. Let's look more two-dimensional. Actually, yeah, I used the great trick of using a one of those perspective-y lines, and then I just drew it on top of there. So that kind of helped a lot. Turns out little guides that you use for figuring things out are actually pretty good for drawing. So I use it like that to get there. And then I can just delete those lines and move. Yeah. Well, thank you though, yeah. I try to try it in different perspectives and, you know, different styles and everything. Today, we got to work on a Valentine's Hearts and Hooves little animation. It's going to be another YouTube short. Kind of explain it as we go. It's going to be a fun little recursion thing. Just going to extend it so I can have room to play here. It's been a bit since I've used Toon moves. I'm going to relearn. It'll come back to me, but I got to relearn some stuff as we go. Probably here and there. So I want to draw on the background layer. Do I want to use a different color? I'm not sure. Or is it all the same color? That'll be fine. Let's see. So in the background, we'll have it at Derpy's house on a hill. And we'll just see how this goes. It's right-handed, so you can do it on that side. I think I want to do it on a new layer. I'm gonna pop this to the mid-bottom, and then on the line art, I'll draw my. So this we basis of this is gonna be it's gonna be a love letter that Derpy's gonna get, and so it's gonna be her receiving and creating a love letter between herself. So the joke will be that Derpy will fly in and then see that she has a letter. So I think it's up, that means it has a letter. Otherwise I'll have to just kind of figure that out then. sketch that in real quick. So Derpy will fly in and see that she has a letter, open a mailbox and be like, wow! And then it'll be a cute little Valentine's love letter kind of thing. And then she'll be like so inspired and be like, oh, I want to make my own. You know, I got to send a love letter back. And then she creates a letter and puts it back into the mailbox. And then she's like, yeah, I did it. And flies off. And then sometime later, another Derpy comes back. And she's like, oh, there's a letter in that mailbox. Who is it? Wow, it's a love letter. Oh, I should make a love letter to respond back. And so she makes a letter. So this is kind of like repeating loop cycle. Where she thinks like, oh, I got a love letter. I wonder who it's from. I got to write a letter back and hope that, you know, they'll see it. Yeah, when I deliver it back. Not knowing that it's herself who is actually sending it. So that's the basis of the story and joke of that. It's gonna be pretty simple. There's not gonna be too much to it. It's gonna be one character in like 2 or 3 scenes. I'm not sure how many shots. I can always expand it, you know. Especially the card making scene will probably be the most expressive part of it. Welcome guys. Hello, how you doing? Welcome me. Yeah, we're doing a little something different from Paper Mario this time. We're taking a little break. Welcome, Jed. There was a secret Alamore admirer? Secret Alamore? I wonder if that's actually a word. I would like to know. I feel like it might not be. Neon. Can't copy it directly. It autocorrected to All Modern, which is a furniture owned by Wayfair. Don't think that's right. Where I got this set up is a little tricky, so I have too many tabs here. Let me see here. Okay. I like Derpy. How could you know? He gives himself extra cards. I haven't watched Mr. Bean in so long that, you know, I wouldn't put it past me that I don't know if subconsciously, you know, think of that kind of stuff, or like that's just how my brain wants to make a story. But that's pretty good at if there is something like that. I'm okay with that. My main inspiration is Mr. Bean anyway. These kind of silent films, or just a silly little character running around being causing mayhem. Yeah, definitely. Somebody who's too shy to Derpy. You know, that was actually, I'm not gonna do that for this episode or this video, but that was actually one of my ideas for when I was making the Quest for Girls, my first one that eventually became a Derpy test. I had an idea where Flash Sentry, let's see if this music's still going, okay. An idea where Flash Sentry was sending Derpy a, Flash would have sent the love letter that was seen in the first Quest for Girls of like, there's one shot where Derpy had a love letter and she was like, wow. She was just kind of just walking in the cafeteria. So I was inspired by that scene. It was like, well, what if it was Flash and then there'd be a whole thing of that it was a whole thing where it was sitting inside of the classroom and then a letter would kind of come out from the bottom of a door. So we kind of like, you wouldn't be able to see it and just kind of like slide underneath the classroom door. And there'd be like, whoa, what's this? Didn't quite think too far into it, so I'm honestly not sure how detailed I got into the story of that. But yeah, that was the basis of it. Is that she would be like, "Wow, a lava ladder." Um, I don't know if that was a good decision or not, but I guess it was, because then I made a derpy test and that did okay. That performed just fine, so I'm happy that worked out. I'm just gonna do my storyboard derpy, so hopefully that's okay. Because I just had, you know, these sketches. And I was like, either I can spend 5 minutes per panel drawing this, or I can draw that. Be done, you know. So okay. I know what I'm doing, so. Rearrange her there. So hard with the limits of it being not too wide. It's taller than wide. It's kind of aspect ratio, so I have to be very mindful of that. But yeah, I'm not upset that that I changed my mind halfway through with the derpy test. Obviously, you guys liked that one anyway, so I think I tried showing it to one of my college professors. He was like, "Man, this." He didn't really want to say it, but he's like, "Yeah, this stinks." He's like, "Yeah." There's so many anatomy problems, and it's like the animation was kind of stiff, and I was like, "This is, you know, best I could do at the time with human anatomy and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, sorry, you know." What is he? No. Actually worked on some big name projects that, like, oh, that are actually really influential to pop culture. So I was like, oh, yeah. It's gonna be like looking down. Yeah. Could have done a little better in school, especially at college, when I didn't really realize how real important it would be to do as best you can. I was doing the best I can, but like my best I can was like pretty bad. Or I guess I was, you know, imposter syndrome with like everyone else. I was like, oh, I'm not actually as best artist as in the world, you know, even among, you know, peers and everything. And I was like, oh, yeah, good reality check there. And I was like, yeah. Onion skin. That doesn't help. So it was good, but yeah. Let's make her excited. Yeah. Like, ah. Like, yeah. I wonder, I'm gonna go home and go, a letter? Yeah. Waiting your stuff, let's see. Since that's a good pony, she's a good pony. She can turn good, right? Mini from 2019. Cool. I don't think I have any Sunset stuff. I do have a not that, you know, impressive a collection of derpy stuff, but I had a USB that I used, and that USB got corrupted, and then the files on there weren't able to be openable. So I was like, well, that's self-fulfilling prophecy there. And I was like, yeah. And my derpy USB exploded. Wasn't that much. I mean, it was just like transferring some stuff I already had a backup of, you know? It's more just like, oh, I have a file on my home, and then I'll bring it to school, work on it, and bring it back, and then copy it. So I don't know if I really. Actually, that's not how that works. I'm gonna open it from here. Didn't really lose that much stuff. But yeah. It's 5 years. Yeah, I know. I mean, we did lose that 1 year, so doesn't feel that long then. Okay, so now I need to play with the background. This is where I could separate it. I could have the mailbox be its own storyboard thing, but I think it'll be fine. Do need to go into here. Do have it as its own layer though, so I can make a new. I make a new drawing substitutions. Like in a Derpy layer, I have all these drawings here. So now I got a new drawing here. So I can go into here, take this down, and then draw this out. And then you would have the card hanging out in here. Good. Derpy layer. But yeah, if you're in school, stay in school. It's it's more important than you think. At least what I think I learned, or at least was taught the most, was how to research. Was probably the most important. It's not like, I mean, it depends on what you're going for, but at least for me in my occupation now, the amount of math and stuff I'm doing is not like algebra or like calculus, or I don't have to know history of people or anything like that. It's like, I just need to know how to read a ruler is the most important to me. I use a ruler way too much. Like every single day I'm using a ruler, like a 12-inch ruler, and be like figuring out, start from 0 and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and be like, okay, if something's this wide, how wide is it? And then be like, okay, so you line it up, and it's like, okay, and then you're like, well, does that mean it's what is that, 43, or is it 37? And it's like, well, time to bust out the centimeters and be like, okay, what do we got here? It's like, woo, it's that many centimeters over. So, especially with all my trophies. So my trophies are, you would have to have a plate, and then you would have a name that's like name here. And it's like, I have to put the next one here for name 2 for this year. And so it's like, well, if I don't have this, how do I know this is a real legitimate plate? That's like, how do I know where to put this? What coordinate is this to put the next name? And so I have to use a ruler and be like, okay, this is where that point is, that's where that point is, and like from here it's like, how wide is this, and then the tallness of this, and then I can figure out what font this is and be like, okay, here's an N, and like run that as a test and be like, okay, well, the N is a little short, so I have to make it a little bit taller, and it has to be like this way more to the left, and then over there, and it's just, yeah. So sometimes these plates like take like a couple hours worth of just like reconstructing what this text is from scratch. Sometimes I don't have a file, so it's like, how do I would have just this, and it's like, have to start from scratch and be like, okay, here's literally everything that's breaking down this text, and be like, okay, and then it's like, well, the other name is up here, and so it's like, well, what's the distance between these ones, and then I have to recreate that distance between that and make that equal, and then write the next name down here, and then just hope that it's correct when I put that in, and then the material itself has to be in the right position. So that's the kind of math that you probably want to stay in school so I can do that. Yeah. Didn't quite learn that in college for my art degree stuff. That was more just to learn more stuff that I I feel like I already knew most of it, especially with storyboardings and post-production stuff that they talked about, and yeah. But just like fine art and figure drawing and all that, it's like, okay. Yeah. Guess I was too focused on horses at the time. I was like, yeah, I don't need to know this. But I do. Okay. There'll come a time when I have to. My plan is to do a remake or some sort of Equestria Girls animation style thing. I want it to be real happy. Just knowing basic perspective stuff here. Put that down. So, yeah, you learn some things that are important for your job, but not everything, because they're trying to get you to be well-rounded, not necessarily good for your specific job. Which I suppose should we go back into like apprentice, you know, kind of. Like, well, you want to learn how to make bread, then maybe you should stop going to school and just like become a baker or something. Work with a baker man and do that. 'Cause that'd be nice. I feel like that'd be a little easier because then you don't have to spend 12 years, you know, learning more complicated stuff or stuff that's irrelevant to what you actually want to do. You know, like I'm never gonna wanna need to know super advanced math or know my exact DNA sequences. You know, it's like we did have art. Like when we did art, it was like, wow, this is sometimes good, but also it's like, yeah. Like in regular, like junior high or high school. Is that fan too loud? Should I get up and close that then? I have a door, I can make that little leak water. Okay, how far do we get? We got her to show up. And go like, wow, letter. Whoa, yeah. Let's have her emote more. Make her more happy. Yeah, you gotta go like, yeah. Let's have her close her eyes. Like, yeah. Maybe like, or like, a little more satisfied, like, Exaggerate it, like, or kind of like fall over or something, kind of rotate her back, like, Just doing the storyboard, so I'm not trying to do too much here, but, you're only gonna use like 50% of what the teacher's gonna tell you, but I don't know. Even then, it's still not that much. Like, the amount of stuff I've had to do, like I explained with ruler stuff, rulers is important to me, but might not be for you. Is there even rulers on here? I got like guidelines, I can do that. I can add little lines here, but that doesn't tell me exact coordinates of what this is, so I don't know. I think some other programs have like real rulers that you can figure things out. Oh, and the fun part of like that whole figuring out what this is and then making the next one, the program that I have to use is I'm using a Windows 95 computer, and I'm using a DOS program, and that means I have to like pretty much like type in everything manually with like numbers and be like, okay, what's the top margin? Why? It's 1.09624. What's the bottom margin? Why? That's 0.425. What's the left margin? What's the font size? What's the height? What's the width? What's the... And it just keeps going on and on. I'm like manually typing in every number possible for every component, every line and every thing there. So, meanwhile, my coworkers are, you know, they're more used to CorelDRAW, which is more WYSIWYG, where it's graphical user interface, where you can, you know, you get some text in and be like, okay, well, here's my text and this is it. And it's like, I want it to be more to the left. And then you just go, oh, okay, more to the left. Boop. And then they go, yep, that seems about right. I'm just going to eyeball that and be like, yeah, that's good. Meanwhile, on mine, I would have to be like, okay, here's the exact coordinate of like how much left it is. You'd be like, I want it to be, I want it to be more here. What is that size? And be like, oh, that's 1/16 on a ruler. Okay. Hey, take this and make the left margin 0.0625 to the left, please. And it goes, oh, okay. Cool. Okay. So, yeah. So there's a big disconnect of like, and you can't see what you're doing either. It's just a blank screen of like, all these different numbers for everything. And then it's like, okay, here's every single thing that's laid out. And then you got a separate screen that then has the text. And it's like, there's a disconnect between like, you can't see what the numbers are going on here, and you can't see what you're doing on this screen. And so you're just going back and forth of like, okay, I moved it left 1/16. Okay, I think that's a good number. And then I render it and be like, oh, look, here's the text over here. Oh, that's what it did. Okay, let me go back. And so you can't see each other of what you're doing. So the whole time you're just going back and forth of like, what did I do? Here's the numbers, and be like, okay, here's this one, you know, top margin 1 inch. Okay, so you go 1 inch and then it goes down. But what if I want it 2? Then you get 2, and then that moves this down. This down a whole inch. You know what I mean? So it's disconnect of like putting in numbers and then not seeing what you're doing, and then you have a disconnect of like seeing what you're doing but then don't know what the numbers are. On a Windows 95 DOS software. So even when it renders, that's the thing with it renders, is like on this super low pixel quality. So even if you move it, you know, 1/32 of an inch, you know, the text would kind of look like this, and it's like, okay, here it is on low quality. And if you move it 1/32 to the left or something, I mean, it's gonna look like that. You didn't even see it, did you? Here it is. Here's the right. Here's the left. Left. Right. Left. Right. And so it's like, it's so low quality that it actually looks like this. I didn't even move it. And it looks the same. So, yeah. Whoa. Welcome, War Waddle. Welcome. It's going... Not complaining, but it's just like, this is what I'm doing. It's very arduous, yeah. Ugh. I can't get into the flow. I'm special brain that I'm able to just kind of sit down and be like, okay, you know, here's a whole bunch of numbers and then figure it out, and then able to do a whole bunch within a day. Sometimes the awards, you know, they come in. I think last week they had one that was, or this week, they had it like where they wanted 3 on 3 different plates, and they're all different and like different places on the plate. Can't draw today. where they had 3 of these, and they were like different sizes, and it's like the last one was here, the last one is here, and the last one is here. And they're all different sizes as well, so it's like I have to, everyone is unique, you know. And it's like, okay, to do the next one, I have to do it from this size and this size and this size and figure out what this is and this is and this is and this is, and it just keeps going. I'm like, figure it out. And then it's like, okay, well, here's the next one, and then you just figure everything else here and then like everything else here. And you just try and get through all of them within your quota or something. Ugh. But yeah, I'm able to get through them, but yeah, they're definitely not simple. What am I doing? Derpy's like, wow, we'll let her. And then she's like, I have an idea. Let's do new picture. Let's get rid of some of these. Okay. And then she's like, oh, like, oh, maybe, yeah. And she's like, ah. Maybe like, yeah, like excited, like, yeah. Like I'm pumped to be like, yeah, let's do it, kind of thing. Like, ah. And then she's like, yeah. Still holding the card. We lower the card, and then let's see. And then let's see. It's like, aha. Like, I've got an idea. That might be much. Not sure I'm even gonna do it on the puppet, but at least I can get it so that this is a little fun here. Aha! Let's get the broad strokes here. He's like, aha. And then she'll fly into the door. Let's do that. I could ever just like literally zip in there. Like some sort of smear frame or something. Shoo. Shoo. Choo, 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 choo. Get a little bit more forward momentum by having her be a little bit closer. Choo, choo, choo. And then she'll be like, "Whoa, I gotta open the door." Grab the doorknob. And then swing it open. That means I have to change this door. New frame on door. Ugh. It's drawing when I'm trying to go into select mode. Also, it's wrong layer. Door open, and then let's see, door open, next frame. Could go back to my weird smear frame I had. Copy that, and then I use this line as a cutter. And then have her disappear. Okay. Obviously this is quick, but at least you can get the whoa card. Yeah, boop, 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 boop. I need to move everything over, so I gotta move everything one frame over, and then expose this back. So now we got blank. Derpy flies in. Whoa! Card, yee. Aha! I'll fly in, open door, and go in. Does she close the door on herself? I think that'd be a little tricky to ever kind of go around and be like, oh yeah, let me get the door. You have to like grab the doorknob from that side, or when instead of like zipping in. Instead of zipping in, she like at the same time slams the door. How would that work? What do you guys think? She like opens it and then she can't really. Or I just don't think about it. I don't know. We'll have to move on here. This is where all the ideas and figuring outs are. So let's do new background. What do I want? I want to show. Next part is Derpy making the card. She's making a reply back card to be like, yeah, I like you too. Thank you for the card. I appreciate it. Here's my own card. So let's see. Do I show? I want it to be like an arts and crafts thing. So it's gonna be a montage of Derpy getting a bunch of craft materials and then putting it together. I don't know how explicit I want it to be. You know, where it's like she gets a. This is a step by step of like, here she is using the glue, and then now she's making. Then you can see her use the glue, and then it's bap 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 or macaroni or something. Oh, I didn't even think about macaroni. Oh, it's macaroni art. I thought it was gonna be like glitter, but oh yeah, just thought of that. Okay, yeah, let's roll with that then. I had that idea, but usually I would have a beginning and end. Middle, it's kind of hard for me. Because then it's like, well, I can literally do whatever I want in the middle. I got the beginning and end more figured out, so let's see. Classic. All right, cool. I'll definitely do that. Where do you find macaroni? Is in a drawer? Do you find it in the fridge? In a cupboard? Where would Derpy hide macaroni? Where should you put all craft supply stuff? Let's see. I can have like a shelf or something, and then like this will be. Have this lower. So this will be a shelf. A couple lines here. And then this will be where all the stuff is. And then she'll be like, wow, look, I need that thing. Let's turn this off. So I can have this be a double door cupboard. So we'll have two shelf thingies. This will be where the backsplash is. It's not really a kitchen, but just kind of like a wall or something. Let's see. Hi, Mr. Vlogger. Welcome. Trying to figure this out. Maybe this can be It's be the same thing where it can just be like two things. Trying to figure out that Derpy will get a love letter from a secret admirer. And she'll be like, oh, I gotta make my own card. And so now she's gonna find all the stuffs in here. Maybe she's just like in a hurry. Yeah, she's gonna come in here and she'll be like quickly zipping and then just be like still flying and then arms out ready to grab. Let's extend it for a bit. And then she'll just kind of go across and grab some things as she goes along or something. Which means that this arm is grabbing something, this one's already ready to grab the next thing. And then she'll just kind of keep going across as she like has more and more stuff as she's ready to grab more. And then one more. And she just has too many things. And then we'll take her out. I can lower the frame rate to like 8. And then this will go a little slower. Yeah, that's cute. I like the continuing of motion as she continues from left screen to right screen. It's like a continuous kind of thing where it's like, oh yeah, she would be going left to right, so she just continues left to right. Next scene. Let's see. Again, it's like, well, I can just keep going and making, you know, this more and more elaborate. Or I can make it so I can actually finish this in a couple weeks. Next scene. So she gets her supplies. Let's just pretend that's everything that she needs. And then we'll get maybe like a big top down of the table. Well, she'll prepare everything. So it'll be like the floor here, the floor down here, and then tabled up here. And then she'll come in and then do like a top down. So let's see. I can rotate this. Yep. Make this a little easier. Can't do that in Flash. Actually, you can. It's not that fun. Okay. Rotate that back. And then she's like, I'm in here. And then extend it again. New frame or new drawing. And then comes back in a little more. Arrive in, and then she has her arms out, and then she just drops. All it starts is just stuff. Here's like the glue and like bag of stuff, and then the card stock, and then a whole bunch of just glitter falls. More pages, all the macaroni just falls. I put that on a separate layer, a new drawing layer, so I can play with just this now. Kind of like spread it out a little bit. And then on the Derpy layer, be like, okay. Which one's Derpy? Kind of like rotate her head a little. Let's put that to 4. Boom. Oh boy. Let's see. Bwomf. That's on here. Make this frame 1. Bring things in a little more. And then it's like, yeah, a little more action going on here. It's more like she's already holding it and then she drops it, kind of thing, onto the table on here. Don't need much more on that. So now we'll cut to a new shot. So new, and then new. So now, we'll do, just thinking, what do I want to do? I want to do like a panning shot of her like making it. So like from, yeah, it can start from the left, go to the right, and then be like a side view or something. Maybe she could be, yeah, let's see. Montages always need some sort of moving shot. Some sort of panning shot. There's always a panning shot in montage. That's how you know time's moving, is when the camera's moving. I don't know, that's a rule. So we'll have that, and then new layer, drawing layer. Let's see. We can have the card that she picked out. Let's move everything up a little. Yeah, let's make it higher. Yeah, that's better. More zoomed in this way. Perspective doesn't work, so I will play with these kind of perspective-y line tools. I can kind of drag the lines around. That's better. And then this is where magic will start to happen, and then she'll like draw in there. Okay. So now for here, we'll do Derpy, and we'll do, got a new layer already. We'll draw her in front view. Just make her real big. And she'll be looking down. She'll be kind of like happy, and then have like her tongue out to be like, oh, I'm working real hard. And this is like, I'm in the zone. Here we go. Little. So it's good to tilt. Never have it just like straight lines or any kind of don't make too many right angles with anything. Just kind of go in and be like, okay, maybe she's kind of tilted there. New sublayer off, and then she'll be like, okay, here's her arms going in and playing around with all the stuff that's on the table, and then she can like pick up something that's on the side. What's on here? she could be either holding or just like have a whole bunch of just random stuff. Just on the side here. I want it to be wide, so I'm gonna go a little further out. And then I'll eventually figure out what this is. What exactly am I doing here? I'll figure out my... There we go. This will be the macaroni art of her using macaroni to make the heart symbol. Okay. And then for now I think I'll just put a big arrow. Say that I want the camera to go that way. Because I don't have it timed out yet. And I'll use this camera. Well, this is the real camera. I can move this around, I think. Actually, I can't use that one. I have to use the peg. And then I can move this around. Let's see. There we go. So what I'll be able to do is animate it kind of like normal. Nothing's... The characters, Derpy in the background, won't exactly... They won't themselves animate to the left or anything. But I'll be able to use this virtual camera. And then click that and then move that over. And so I can get this kind of movement. Everything inside will obviously be able to be seen. Everything on the yellow will be invisible, or that's the outside of the canvas size or the zone. So I'll be able to just kind of go and then make that kind of a camera action. So once I figure out the timing, I'll be able to have time to then put keyframes for the camera to move over like this, and then move across, and then add a tween, and then we get this. Obviously it's low frame rate, so let's bring that back up. And so you get something like that. And I'll be able to just animate Derpy and the background and everything else kind of like this, and then have them just kind of animate and kind of do their actions, and then have the camera move across. So I won't have to... I've seen, you know, some people who don't understand that kind of stuff, where it's like, well, in animation, how do you move a camera? And it's like, well, it depends on your setup. Is, you know, you don't have to draw the character and then be like, okay, well, now they're on, you know, this frame to the left. That means I have to redraw everything. With digital stuff, and especially with Flash and Toon Boom, there are virtual cameras in Flash, if you wanted that. They don't quite work as well as you think. Or as well as I should. So you get some weird issues with that, but Toon Boom separates it by having its own separate thing. It's its own thing that I added in. I'm able to add in cameras and stuff if I wanted to. So these are super useful, because that means I don't have to want to do a camera move like that, pan or zoom or whatever else. Oh yeah, I can also zoom in if I want. If I get grab camera, I can also zoom in and out. This works in 3D space as well. So if I had things on a more three-dimensional plane, I'd be able to move the camera left to right, up, down, and into and out of depth by zooming in or not. Be able to do all sorts of stuff. Now, I'm not moving the drawing assets. I'm moving a virtual little viewing cone. So that's really fun. So I don't have to, again, worry about whether or not I'm having to animate the characters themselves and trying to move them over and figuring out like what the space and time of all that is. Okay. We need... Go back into here, and we can continue and pretend that all that happened. Let's go back in here. Okay, reselect everything I need. Okay, so that happened, and then I want some sort of like celebration to be like, yeah, I made it. So let's do, I like to call this the pinwheel background, because they're in the cafeteria song in Quest for Girls. They kind of go into like this abstract background, and the background has this, I guess I'll do it. It's got this abstract background that doesn't represents this zone area, but it's like, it's got these spiraling out shapes, and like these are different, you would have like different colors every other one, and so you get something that's kind of shaped out like this. So you have like 2 tones or 3 tones or whatever, and then you'll be able to then have, delete that, and then new, and then be like, wow, here's my card. Then, let's see, I can draw on a separate layer as like a rough or something of the shape I want. That's a good heart. And then, actually, I think I want to draw this in a different color. I can select this and then say, please be blue. Go to my other layer, draw in black, and then I can draw my little macaronis along the edge, and then I can delete my heart, and now I got a macaroni shape of the heart that I wanted. And then I can have little other little flourishes or something and be like, oh, I love you, haha, wow. So a whole bunch of explosion-y kind of things, like whew, whew. Okay. And then I want Derpy to hold it up, and so she'll have her arms be like, yeah. Actually, it should be at that angle. It's still fine. That's actually kind of cute, though. I was going to have it be more straight up, but I think what I've taught myself and tell you is that I want it to be not a straight angle, but I do want to flip it. It's really kind of like they're stretching out like that. Like everything. Oops. Lost hand. There we go. Mouse wasn't working for a second. Extend these. That's there. Yeah. Make the background a little easier to look at. Okay. Probably make it even simpler. Let's just draw maybe like that many, really. Center it. Adjust it. Okay. Good. You notice that I kind of draw and then I adjust it. I like, you know, I feel confident in my drawing sometimes, but you know, sometimes it's like, well, wouldn't it be nice if this line was actually more over here? And so I just kind of go ahead and select the lines. You're like, okay, that didn't go exactly as planned of drawing it. So it's like, I'll just redraw it or move it over. Be like, yeah. And then some little like, yes. And then we'll have one more joke of macaroni falling off. And then we have little macaroni. And then it'll just, not you. And then we'll go back to this one. So we'll just either imply, or I guess I could do one more. I was going to imply, but I think it needs to go a little further. It needs to go on a little farther of a journey. There we go. Bring this back to 4. Yeah, obviously it's not timed right, but that's the gist of it here. What we got so far. See you, Judd. Thank you. Okay, so getting there. Now it's like, yeah, here's the card, da 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 da, and then we'll cut here to a blank, into another blank. Background will be actually back here. We'll have a separate one that actually has this down. Ah. Okay. So I got this background. Da 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 da. Boom. Okay. Back here. I could even have the door. I could have the door stay open. And then she just implied that she never actually closed the door. But then she would need to close it again. She needs to close the door in that case then. Because I want it to be this. The thing is that it's gonna loop back here. The thing is that she's gonna come out, put the card into the mailbox, leave, and then she'll be like, she'll come off screen right, and then later, Derpy on screen left will be like, whoa, a card, wow. And it makes her own card, and then puts it back in. So either she has like one card that like becomes its own card, or there's a whole bunch of cards that's been happening, and you can make up whichever way you think. It's be a little time paradoxy kind of thing. Okay. I don't know about the hardest part of this time paradox is whether or not the door is closed, but apparently it is. Didn't consider that. Uh-oh. Okay. Where are you here? Let's move that over. Or at least delete this. And then now Derpy can come out. I'll just put her here and then make a new one. And then just so I can see what her size is. And then make her a little smaller maybe. I'll see change all this now. Actually, having that be kind of happy was pretty good. Just wanted to redraw it though. Or she'll have this be a little bit more upright. So door will open. Kind of like it where her arm's always kind of like up after the end. It's not like the door magically opens. It's like I want her arm to like be up in some way that it'll apply to her. She did open the door. Open the door. Okay. And we'll do the same thing of door open, inside. Perspective should probably be a little lower. I could put some extra details in there or something. Okay. Bwomp. Door open. Derpy fly to mailbox. Select it. Let's see. Hello. Welcome, Bora. Moonlight. Let's see. Hard to get when they're long messages trying to get around the heart icon. That's a good stream. Those were just about to do public playtime. Whoa! There's a third one? Or is that? Well, I appreciate you. Thank you. Then we fly up. maybe a little more. This will be our keyframes. I don't have to do literally every frame there. And then just need to make big jumps and suggestions. Is that horror? When not the horrors of time travel and paradoxes scare you off, then you should be safe here. A little. Okay. Let's have her fly down here. Let's animate her. Just trying to go through the motions. She needs to open a door, put the card in, lift the thing, then fly off. In that order? Let's see. Alrighty. Well, have fun there. Yeah, once I finish my stream in an hour or so, I'll have my own lunch. I don't usually go anywhere. Hope you have fun though. You could take me with you and just kind of put it on your phone and watch. Don't have to have like volume or anything, or wear headphones or something. Yeah. Let's see. Get drawn on this one so I can see. Need to do the same thing. So, from we did at the start, where she opens the lid. Left the door open. I just went through like 100 permutations. So she could. My original thought was that she would kind of fly off and be like, she would just kind of like go off and be like, oh, I'm gonna go back to town or something, and then the idea with that, she kind of fly back around to be like, whoa. Because I needed to loop back to here, where she like is here, but I need the door closed. The idea that I just had is that I could have her in this one, this version of her. She does the card and then goes back inside and then closes the door. I don't know what continuity this door is getting me. Yeah. Says the card and then flies back in and then closes the door. That'll actually kind of make it more interesting of like, how did the other Derpy come outside? How is she outside then if she just went inside? Huh. Yeah, just thinking about it. Okay. Let's see. Would be the final boss. It definitely is. Then do I apply in? I could in here. Imply at the door at the beginning version. Jumps in and then could just have like one little bit of her just kind of like whoop, and then closes it or something. And then that'll explain it being closed here for her to open it again. Or from at this point, she opens the door, turns around, closes it, then gets to the box, and then flies off. That'd be my original idea, what I was thinking. And then she can fly off outside and then come back from outside. If she's like outside on right side and then appears outside left side, then that could imply that she just kind of forgot, and then it could imply that she's the same horse, and then be like, oh, she's just kind of went from outside, looped around behind the camera, and then came back on left side. I don't know which way I want to go about it now. Is that the only way to have the door close? Could be at this point where she immediately just comes outside, closes the door here, card put away, and then either goes inside to close the door on herself, and then new Derpy comes out from the left side. I feel like if it's that way, the one I just said, then it could feel like it's a loop rather than a loop. Let me explain. If she goes in and then at the end here goes back in the door, and then if she comes back from outside, it'll feel like I just looped the animation rather than it feeling like she be actually going from right side of the screen to left side, and then be like, oh, okay, then you start to believe that that's the same horse at that point, I think, rather than it being like, oh, well, the animation started over, okay, rather than it become a different kind of possibility. I'm so trying to figure this out. At least at this point I can just get the rest of this going. We'll figure that out. What do you guys think? What happens next in this part? Okay. So let's get rid of that. Draw this. It'd be empty. That's the important part on this part of it, is that it's actually an empty mailbox. Because at the beginning, she would open it and then it'd be full of card. And then she makes it and then she comes back and then it's like, whoa, it's empty. And then it'd be like no card. And now open, then Derpy can get a card from Hammer Space. She can like open her eye to be like, kind of like look over and be like, that's good. And then grab the card out of back pocket. And then produce it. Which means she's gonna look back at it over here now. Whoop. Get rid of arm, get rid of arm. Have card. Ooh, that didn't work. Okay. Have card, and then shove it in. It's always fun to like extreme it. As like then she's just kind of shoving it in here or something. Want it to be like a punch or something to be like, yeah. But it would fit. It's not like a big card. It's not like one of those where it's like, oh, I gotta like, you know, big card and be like, oh, I'll shove it in or something. But I think it can just kind of place it in there or something. And then close the lid. So now card can be part of mailbox. Yeah. So I can cut this drawing from here, go into mailbox, new drawing, paste it in there, correct it in Derpy, and get her out. I am realizing now that it's gonna be a little tricky having props. Props are always a little unwieldy in animation, because you want the props to be like locked or magnetized to the character. So when she's like flying here, you wouldn't have to like separately move keep track and be like, oh, as Derpy moves, it's like, oh, I have to move the card to exactly match every single frame. You want it to be like magnetized and have it like, so you can always drag both of them, or you just drag one, you know, the master peg of Derpy and be like, okay, now card will also move. Problem is that she has to like let go of prop, which means that it becomes unmagnetized to her, but then I have to swap over and like have to do more complicated little tricks to get that to work. Having her deal with the environment is also sometimes hard. Back to Derpy. Close it, and then have her go over. A little more extreme. Drag this, and then have her rotate at that corner. Mailbox, rotate this back. Sure, let's go back to this one and just copy everything here because it's gonna be the same. So we go to from 13 to 14. Delete everything here. Paste that mailbox in, and it should look the same as from it would from the beginning. Derpy's in the wrong spot. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. That's good. Boop, boop. Ah, door opens. Why door open? I see door open. What's going on? Door not supposed to be open yet. Door needs to be closed. So what's up? He's in the wrong drawing. What's going on? I need this, everything here, to be the same as this. Okay. I know a little thing switches there, but that's kind of what you gotta deal with. I'm okay with that. I'll say this is still storyboard, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay. Question is, now what? I don't know. I can fix my hair. What is going on? Just noticing that my tail's going up. Oh well. I think I have to set my gravity to be negative so that my little hair things would fly up, but now I think it's affecting my tail. I haven't even noticed. Oh well. Is enough if I set the gravity strength. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm still here. Okay. What happens now? She had to zip in, and then I don't know. The door closes on her. It's on this frame. Would it be the same as this? Nope, it is not. It'd be the same as this. Yes. Okay. She could be like zip, boof, and then the door slams or something. Do. And then door closed, door open. And then instead of going from here to here, we'll have her extend a little bit. Here, here. So we'll add one frame here for her just to have the door continuity. And here, have her flip around and grab and close the door. Why is she over there? Go over here and grab the door. I feel like it's almost a little bit more. Boff. Grab the door. And then here, add one more for her to move closer. And then have this door closed, but thingy down. So let's see. I need what frame rate? I need a new keyframe here of going back to 1, copying door back around here, and then delete all this door. And so now when everything changes here, I'm gonna go back in and try and delete everything and then paste it. So now door, and it should be there. Stop opening the door. Keep the door closed. It should be remain closed. God, stop having it be open. Okay. Okay. Do. Close door. Do. Open. So from here, just gotta like slam it or something. So I need one more. I think. Over one. Yeah, definitely want this one. And then was that a keyframe here? And then I'll add one new one of just like the cartoon like onomatopoeia, you know, the little show that the door slammed and then it resets. Boom. Get the stuff, who cares? Wow, you did it. Okay, and then open door. Door open. Close door. Go up. Do. Card in. Boop. Dingy up. And now, your final task, your final mission is to just run out. Okay. From here, new frame is to have her here. And then fly up. And now be satisfied. I don't know if that's... I'm trying to think about it. I do like that, and that's not... That's the ending pose. What if I had... That's satisfied. Kind of like that. I want her eyes to be closed, but I can't do too much. Let's see. Maybe she's excited. I don't know. Yeah, like kind of like, yeah, yeah. Okay. And then a couple more of her just literally just flying off in this pose. And then you just hopefully assume that she just kind of keeps going. Like de-exposing her. And then that'll be the end. Okay, see what we got. Get rid of that. Oh, can't do 2 frames. Okay. Whoa. Oh, card. Yeah. Whoa. Yep. Close the door behind you. Whoa. Whatever here. I don't know. Lay your stuff out. Make a card. Well, I made a card. Okay, open the door. Close the door. Open mailbox. Put card in that was empty. Thingy up and fly off. And then loop, which it should. And then fly off. And then loop. Whoa, a card. So, that's gonna be it. I was just doing it. Yeah. Okay. Where are we going? Only it's like an hour and a half. And now the hardest part was figuring out the door, but you know, weird stuff like that happens with animations. I know, like, trying to figure out the exact semantics or like, you know, the logistics of like, well, how am I gonna do that? Or wait, I didn't expect this to be tricky. There's one thing in the upcoming Paper Derpy movie chapter that's like a character has to wield a stick and then do some moves with it, and it's like that took me like a couple months, and actually I had to get up and like get my own stick and like try to picture it out and figure out all the moves and be like, okay, how would this work? And it's like, oh man, it took a couple weeks just to do that couple seconds, and it's like, oh jeez. So you don't expect some stuff to be more tricky when I should try to figure it out. So yep, it's done. Time to publish this, and yeah, I wonder how many likes I'll get out of this. Well, I mean, like, you know, on some sites, you know, if you post some art that's like in progress, you sometimes get more likes than the final product. I don't know. And definitely this will be probably a little more than average. I don't know. It's for work time probably. It's not too many scenes and everything. I think once I broke everything down, now everything should be a little bit easier, because I'll be like, okay, this is what I gotta do, and I already figured out with the storyboard, so it's like, okay, now I just gotta do it. So, yeah. Let's try and work on bringing it back to the 24th, I guess, and see how fast this is. It'll be like, yeah, it's a little fast. Okay. So this could be like, I don't know. I was thinking it's gonna be around 20 seconds, but even like 15 or even 10 might be stretching it a little bit. This is what I usually do, is that I kind of just get all the keyframes immediately that I want, and then that are just posed for like 1 frame, and then go back and retime it. I think in a Derpy movie I did have it be timed out somewhat, but I think I found when I did it that way, I was more concerned about the timing between frames rather than trying to get good poses out of it, or was like, okay, or digging to like incrementally and be like, okay, well, for this to work, it has to be like 8 frames, and for this to work, it has to be 10 frames. And then I was like, I'm almost locked myself in and be like, well, this has to be 10 frames, you know, because that's how I had it. Without having the whole thing charted out like this, you know. And it's like, wait a minute, how am I gonna do this? So, finding different ways and different methods that work for me, and be like, okay, at least I can figure it out in terms of doing these one frame things and then figuring out later on how long everything should be. Okay. So I'll just kind of quickly see about how long I think some of these things might take. And again, these aren't going to be... I'm not going to think about these as being hard frames. So I usually play with these timings as I animate. I found that my Paper Derpy storyboards were really fast when I storyboarded them out. Or like I didn't realize that some things needed to be a little bit more nuanced, a little bit slower, you know. I tend to have things really sped up. Because you look at this kind of span and be like, oh, well, that's 50 frames. 50 sounds like a lot. That's like 2 seconds. You know, that's 1, 2. And it's like, that's not enough time to do a whole bunch of things. So even this fly-in might take, you know, maybe like half a second or something. Really slow it down. And something between here to here could be much faster. So you try to think of like comedy timing as well. So you want it to kind of be start slow, and then she's like, "What?" You know, a little quicker. You're like, "Ah," and then she's happy, so she's gonna be a little faster and be like excited. You're like, "Okay, what's in here?" Like, just kind of chomp it down and be like, "Oh, look, a letter," and then read it for a longer time, and then have a reaction. So you get something. Something more like that, where it's like just like trying to feel her emotions and be like, okay. And then translating that into like timing wise and be like, okay. She's kind of calm, so she's kind of quickly, you know, slowly getting to her home and then kind of be like, okay, wonder what's down here. Whoa, let her, you know. Kind of a thing. And then also trying to think that might need to be bit more time, not that, you know, from here to here or even here to here, you know, to people will be like, oh yeah, that should be pretty, you could have that pretty quick in a storyboard because you want to see like the motion of it, but the actual animation might actually take a little bit longer of like different keyframes of it opening or something. So yeah, that's what I didn't realize when I was doing the movie storyboarding. You know, I storyboarded the whole movie pretty much the whole way in different sections over like a week or so, which almost became nearly close to like what the chapters are of how I broke it up with different files, because it was gonna be like 10 minutes of storyboards and it's like I can't put literally the entire animation inside of one flash file, so I split it up, and it just happened that kind of worked out with the way that I split it up. I was like, yeah, that's kind of where the chapters would be. But yeah, each little segment I was making the storyboard feel fast to make it feel like, oh, like a flip book and being like, okay, that's happening. But it's like, yeah, when animating it, I needed more frames to tell the motion of it, so everything could kind of slow down. And there was a recent Midnight Mirrors animation that I worked on for, I think, New Year's, and I was like, I was rushing so much because I wanted it to be done within less than a week. I was like, whoa, okay. So I kind of picked my battles and like, okay, I'm just gonna have it be pretty quick shots. And it's like, this could have been, you know, like twice as long, but at the same time, it's like that means I have to animate twice as many frames. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna be a little sneaky and be like, okay, if I make this shot like 20 frames instead of what may feel better with 40, it's like, that means I have to do less work per frame, you know, to get it done. So if I work back and loop back around to that animation again, I'll have to rework it so it's much slower. Because you don't really realize, because you like played it over and over, so it's like you watch it so many times that by the end you're like, don't really realize that it was fast. So it's like I thought it was fine. want to have long reaction shots. Reactions are good to have for a long time to be like, and then you're like, aha, I have an idea. You want to convey everything, because everything has to be posed with body language and facial expressions working together and try and tell you a story. So like, I've learned that you want to have those kind of rest for a little bit longer than I would have, done. I was like, aha. So even then, I thought that that'd be fine, but I think I want to have it be just a tiny bit longer. So I can imagine her kind of like bouncing up and down slowly, and then having a realization after that. So this can hold for even longer than what I would expect usually. What I probably would have had it be. Because I need time for her to be like, get into this pose, and then to expose that for a while. And obviously this is this mirror here. And then a little comedic of like, yeah, I'm gonna go zip over here and then slowly open the door. And then I can have her kind of just pause here. And then for a little bit, open the door. And then quickly zip in. Can I go, yeah. Chip, boop, boop. So we're already at 200 frames, which might be around 5 seconds. Let's see. I know 1 minute is 1,440 frames. So 200 is that much divided of it. Let's see. Welcome. Oh, it's back. Welcome back, Judd. I got the storyboard drawings done. And so now I'm going through and timing it out to be way slower. Let's see. Don't think I got the right frame there. I want this to be... It's good to be on 2s, even though I probably haven't been doing that for the rest of these, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little easier once I animate on 2s, where I'm animating every other frame to have everything kind of be set on an even amount. And there, maybe a little bit less. Still want to stall to keep you interested. And then this can be pretty quick, but I want to establish what's going on for a bit. Ooh, this can also be maybe a slight camera move. I can notate that maybe. This is where we start getting feature creep, where it's like, well, maybe, I don't know. Slow pan. And yeah. So you can slowly pan to the left, from left to right. It's better. Let's see. Start there. We pause a little bit to grab more stuff, and then grab more stuff, and then so feels slow, but the way that she kind of goes from point to point is actually pretty far. Maybe it's not, so we can probably get it a little bit closer. I like to have a little bit more breathing room on the end points. I feel like that's a little better. I want to have time for people to understand, like, we're in a different room, this is what the establishing shot is, and then you can do whatever you want in the middle, and then just have to make sure at the end also is a little bit breathing room before it's like, whoa, okay. Have some time for your eyes to adjust, like, what's even going on. this one's pretty quick too. This is only a couple keyframes, but probably gonna have a little bit more time here. And then time for her to get in and then drop quickly. And then that's the end of it. And then there might be like some secondary animations of it kind of falling out a little bit more, so might have a little bit more time here. Okay. And now this is the panning shot with one keyframe, so we'll just add a little bit of time here for working, so that can go on for a little bit longer. Okay. While we're here, we can put in the camera move. Let's see, I'm gonna go to my camera P. Add a keyframe. Add a keyframe at the end. Add a keyframe at the end here. A keyframe at the start. And so now if I go here, I could have my beginning of her start, go to the end, and go past her a little bit, and then keyframe in between. So I can see, like, even with that could be slowed down a lot more. This is where it's going to be kind of mainly actually working on the card, so it's probably good to have this be a little bit less extreme of a pan, and then just have it be longer. Of course, during the animation, I can also figure out the exact timing. And then so it'll just give me a rough start, and then it could be like, aha, I see that this is a long-ish pan here. And I can plan to have my animation be about that long as well as I continue to figure out and be like, oh, I need this many seconds worth of animation, so I can start planning of like what can she be doing and what can I get done in that amount of time, you know. So right now I don't have her doing anything, and it's pretty long, so I gotta figure out what she's doing here. Yeah. Okay. Other thing is that with these YouTube shorts, the maximum time is 1 minute, and I want this to cycle twice, which means I need it to be around 700 frames, I think. Let me get a math. I always forget. Okay, so I need to be 30 seconds or less. Is that times 24? 720. That's what I was thinking. Okay. So I want it to be less than 720 frames. So I'm already at around 400 there. I'll just make a marker at 720. Just to say like, hey buddy, don't go further than that. I think I will be okay. Unless I make this like 1.5 times slower, which could possibly happen, but I think we'll be good. Okay. And what I mean by all of that was I want this cycle to happen twice in one video. So if YouTube only allows maximum of 59 point whatever, let's just say less than your YouTube shorts has to be less than 1 minute. If I want my animation to loop twice in one video, replace the animation, and then I have an alternate version again in the same video, where it plays an A version and then a B version, those both have to exist in the same video file and also be less than 60 seconds. So I need to have my one loop be less than 30 seconds, so then I could have two of them. So this will be the halfway point at 720, so I need to make sure that my animation doesn't go further than that, so then I have be able to actually do it twice. So yeah. Simple maps, but it's good to have that established there. Let's just go some other stuff so I can get rid of the camera. No, it's also slick for the camera, don't want to stretch that out much more. And this is where we sure that we made it. Bump. Make that a little bit shorter. Just want to get that punch a little quicker. Pa. And then around here, you want to be like, wow. And then we'll quickly have this fall. And then have that this section be a little shorter. Getting rid of some of these. Or not. What's going on? Can't delete these frames here. Ah, it's getting worse. I'm just gonna undo all of that. Am I still good? Yes. Okay. What I want to do is just really remove these frames. Okay, cool. Okay. Let's do quicker here, way quicker here. Oh, it is on 2s or something. Spit that out. Quicker here, and then longer here, and then quicker here. Oh, wait, she needs to actually exist for that long. Who knew? This is where it's like, oh, I'll just gotta keep playing with this and see what happens, and then just keep working on it, kind of thing, until it's like, of course, it's never like a, oh, if it's 17 frames, that means that it's perfect. It's not like, you know, it's kind of like, I'll just keep playing with it and be like, is this the kind of feeling? Is this do the intent that I want? And then also have some basic directing skills where it's like, okay, maybe, you know, holding it for that long might be a little too long. So it's just kind of a balancing act of being, well, I want it to be too long, but also I need it to be somewhat long, so even like that, it might be too long. It's probably already established that we're back at the house and be like, oh, okay, you need less time to establish your inside of your mind and be like, okay, I remember what this house outside looked like, so I can quickly at the end just get back out to it and be like, okay, you just have an action pop out kind of thing faster than I need time for her to actually do the motions of her getting out here. One more time there. Make this quick so it'd be like a little bit of a pop there. Rest. This can take a while to get up to here. And again, even if I, you know, get this to be, you know, quote, perfect, it's like, well, in animation, this can, when I play with the puppets and all of that, it's gonna take its own timing and its own rules, which I've slowly learned over time, but not exactly. So I'll just kind of try and error and be like, okay, maybe this needs to be faster, this means slower. I'm using the puppets and be like, okay, yeah. I was a little quick on what I thought would be quick was actually slower, and vice versa. So it's never like, yep. Never like being like, yep, I know what I'm doing. Even with this, I can make this here maybe quicker. Just think about the motion of like how she's gonna do it. Like, yeah, it could be a little quicker here, but just for like what she's gonna be doing in here is ruffling inside of her self. I don't know, behind her back. And there could be more motions and stuff happening here. So I have to have more time for that. And then there's new information. You want to have time for us to look at it and be like, oh, look, a card. before shoving it in really quickly. It's like, new information card, check it out, look at it, and then she can put it in. Maybe like kind of shove it in there, hold on here, and then pop up quickly. Let me show you what's going on. Between here to here, pop. Pause longer here. Get from here to here. Not too long. Motion of here, pretty quick. But she needs to rest longer here. And then this can take a while, and this can take a while, and then this can take a while. So all things considered, I'm, you know, that's why I want to make sure, because it's now around 640 frames. You know, wanting it to be less than 720, so still have about 100 frames, which is about 5 seconds worth. So even if I, you know, go back through and be like, oh, okay, this section needs to be 2 more, this one needs to be 2 more, and this one needs to be 2 more. If I keep doing that, it'll add up, and then I'll eventually run out if I set limit that I want. So yeah. Again, it's this balancing act of like, I want it to be long, but also it's like, ooh, if I have it too long, then it's like, it's gonna be longer than the 1 minute. I want it to be. So let's see. Let's at least just watch what we got so far. Already, I'm like, it could be, oh, that could be slower, that could be faster, oh, that could be slower, ah, jeez. Oh yeah, I was gonna have the other shot be a panning shot. I think just by a little bit. Oh yeah, then that breaks there. We need to have the in frame stop there, and let's do quickly the inside kitchen. I wanted this one to be also slow pan. Figure out where that starts and ends, and then pop those in. There. Camera. Peep. Peep, peep. Okay. Let's grab camera. This could be longer, but at that point I'm scared. I'm realizing that that's kind of close. I don't want to make that too long. I almost need to just make some of this other stuff be a little bit shorter. I'll have to go through. But that's at least the storyboarding process. Hope that was fun and or educational. Edutainment. For ya. Yay. Yep, so anytime there's new information, you want to pause on it. And if it needs to be something for comedic effect, you want to punch it up and be a little quicker. Put it back in. Pop. And fly off. And it loops. There's that one frame where it pops for some reason. Ah. There. That should be good. Yay. Okay. Woof. So let's see. So I brought in my Derpy just in case with my Derpy puppet here. In case we got so far that I would also try and plan her out and do some layout, but I don't know. We're about on time limit when I usually want to stop, so I'm also kind of tired. I think it's a pretty good stopping point anyway. So the next part will be putting this puppet into the correct spaces on each for each shot, and then dragging her around in different places, and then matching her up with the size of the storyboard, and then getting some rough keyframes, animating it, and then everything else that goes along with this. So yeah, it's should be a lot of work, but at least it's up on simple shot composition, so don't have to do any big, action shots or Dragon Ball Z, flying around or anything like that. So she's just kind of slowly going up and down. If you're a Toon Boom animator, I would recommend having multiple pegs for your character for flying scenes. So I would have an extra peg just for up and down motions of Derpy flying peg. And so the only information that's in here will be any up and down motion of her flying, and then all the animation of her kind of like positionally, like left and right, like from flying over, could just be linear, like left to right motion. And then on this one, you would have the up and down motion. I feel like that's a little bit easier to figure things out, because then you can have multiple, you can have separated like layers of animation. So you can have it be, this one just be up and down, this one just be left to right. So otherwise, if you do it the same way, you would have to have like every other keyframe be a little bit to the right and also a little bit up, and then next two keyframes a little bit down and a little bit to the right, and next keyframe a little bit to the right, a little bit up, and it's like, whoa. So by splitting it up, you're able to have multiple different it's able to then separate the keyframes when you get to like X sheets and stuff, when it's like what's actually going on, and these are the different frames that are going on. I'm going to show the positions. Let's see here. These are tweens, but like the positions of everything here. Oh yeah, here we go. So instead of in your X also having a Y coordinate, it can also just be flat, and then in your X will also have just your change. So rather than trying to double up on everything, you're able to separate it, so when you get to here, it's like, okay, having a whole bunch of keyframes of her going up in the Y, and then yeah, can I move her up or down? So anywho, for next week, I'm wondering how far I should be by then. Next week will be the 10th, and then I'll still have time a little bit to be able to also animate, at least get this pretty much done before the 14th. We'll be kind of cutting it close. So I'm wondering how far I should go ahead and animate. I'll definitely try and get some of the layout animation. Maybe we can animate like half the scenes or something, and then like animate like one of the kitchen scenes or something, or the house scene or something, or animate something like this or something. You can help with like all the different props or something in here or something. And what she's gonna make the cards, or what that card looks like. Maybe you can help with that. Maybe have all the user suggestion things for next time, and then I can try to animate everything else around it. So maybe that'll happen. That'll work. But yeah, I want to watch it one more time just with the storyboard. Something we've already been watching for the last 2 hours, but it's like, let's do one more. Watch it again. Again. Okay. So yeah, this is most of the work I think will actually be mostly in the mailbox. Ironically, I think the door openings in the mailbox sequence is probably going to take up most of my time. Just doing all of that, motions and stuff, probably going to take quite a while. And we see that, yeah, now it's like, did she come, did she just kind of fly from screen right, and then she somehow appeared on screen left? It's not like a clone. It's more like either like a weird time thing, or what I want to think is that she just kind of forgot and then came back around. um, so yeah. Oh boy, yeah, I'm hungry. I'll keep torch the time a little quick. Save. Stop. Whoop. Stop that on the 2-frame smear frame. Yeah, hopefully I'll figure out if I can get this tail to go down. Huh. I can quickly see if I can get the gravity strength. Yep, so that happens. That'll fix that. There's no negative. Well, that fixed it. Okay. For now, I'm sure if I keep swinging around, it's gonna break again, but at least fixes the hair again. So, there we go. Yeah. So next week we will continue with this animation. This Valentine's Hearts and Hooves type day. And then after that, we'll probably go back and I want to say wrap up, but we'll probably just continue with Color Splash. And then from then, I have more ideas and I have a whole bunch of other projects I want to work on. Let's see. I've thought about it this week that if it technically works, I will rework the Sunny's Dream visual novel game, that G5 visual novel game that I put on itch.io. It's an exe downloadable thing right now. So you go to itch and then you would it's free, so you wouldn't have to buy it. You would just download the folder for it and then play it on your Mac/PC. So my idea is that Ren'Py updated since last year or whenever I started working on it. So it's possible that if I make a new whole new project and just shove in all of my Sunny's Dream stuff I already got, and then say export to HTML5, it might work. The problem is that the previous version, the latest version of Ren'Py that I was using to make the game, it seemed to have like beta versions of website in export, and the Android and iOS versions were like super complicated. It was at a time when I was trying to just make the game. I was just trying to make the game and trying to finish it, and it was like, do I really want to go through all these RAPTs and other acronyms? And it's like, do I want to become an Android developer? It's like, do you want to sign up for like everything there? And it's like, jeez. So it just got way more complicated, and I was like, jeez, I barely even know how to make this visual novel game. It's like, that was getting way more over my head. I'm trying to code everything. And then it was like, hey, you want to install an entire Android developer bundle project thing and then learn this software, and but to use this software means you have to install like 3 other things, and these things are complicated, and it's like, man. So that's why they're not available as apps, because like I honestly just got overwhelmed by trying to figure it out. But if I can get it to be HTML5, which it's just website, because again, the last version that I was using at the time was not quite set up yet, so it's possible that it seems to be a little better. At least I probably can just focus on it and really just make it work as a package, and then upload that to itch.io as a in-browser game. So that would mean you'll be able to just open the website and then click run game inside there, and then within the website it will just play. So that's my goal. Step one of that. If that works, the little if thens kind of, you know, if then that works, then I'll be able to do some upgrades to the game. Maybe we could do an update. Not like a full-on DLC thing, but just kind of like features and enhancements that I wanted to do when I was developing the game from the onset. I had like some feature creep where I was like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool if this worked? Ooh, I have an idea for the game. It's like, ooh, how about this? Maybe we can just wear a hat. And I was like, that's too much work. But maybe now I can have hat mode. That's the next goal, is to be able to upgrade it and then have hat mode. So I can have Sunny wear a different hat. That's all I want. Yeah. Welcome. SC24. Yeah. Happy New Year. Good luck. Thank you. So yeah, the game is available if you want to play it, but again, you have to practically use a computer, which I know that's probably icky for you guys. You're like, ugh, use a computer for my game? Ugh, I'd rather use my phone and or smart tablet and or iPad and or, you know, whatever else kids got. I don't know. Thanks, me. It's very exciting, yeah. I don't know why, I just wanted the hat mode. I wanted to have like little dress up. I probably was subconsciously inspired by the that 3D first game, that the Maritime Adventure. I think I played that on stream a while ago. They had hats, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool in my game if I had hats? But the technology of like having to add in more sprites and making it fit, and then logic of like which hat is on and making sure that every single interaction has hat on was a bit much. So I just wanted to finish the game. And if all that works, maybe I'll also enhance the art book, maybe enhance the goodie bag. Thank you to people, two of you who bought the goodie bag. I super appreciate that. That's awesome. That's super cool. So if you also want to be super cool and be like, wow, you'll be the third person to buy the goodie bag. Talk about it a bunch. Might as well just link it to you guys in the chat right now. Let me find it here. Find a link to my Sunny Stream game. But yeah, for right now, I don't have it available yet, so you have to download it. Ooh. I guess, yeah, if you want to help with the if there's an enhancement, which is not for sure yet, but if you want to help with the enhancement, you can let me know if there's any quality of life or bugs or weirdness that's like also have ideas. Let me know. I'd like to get it to be the best game it can be. So that should work. So h.o/Yoshi Greenwater /SunnyStream. Cool. So check that out. Obviously it's not in a good state quite yet, but want to help test it to see what do you guys think about it. I guess the only thing now is that the lore is a little different. It's a little time capsule because I designed the game and wrote it when I had like an inkling of who Misty was and like the rest of the kind of stories, and like so I wrote it when like Misty was a sub-villain, henchman sort of thing, and Sunny didn't know who Misty was. So the whole like sequence in there where like you meet Misty, and so it's like if I upgrade it now, I wonder if people will be like, oh, okay, because now Misty's part of the team and everything. And it's like, well, do I want to upgrade that as well? I could do an extra conversation tree with her and then get rid of that extra secret ending and replace it with something else or something. There's always a million things you can do. But now I feel like because it's already complete, it's like I could just add on whatever I want. So, but yeah. So this whole thing might be a little later. I have a couple other projects I want to finish on, especially I want to prioritize Valentine's Day to get that done in the next week or so, and then get an overdue commission done. And then probably we'll get back to work on the movie, and then when the time comes for St. Patrick's Day, we'll probably redo this. We'll do another St. Patrick's Day animation, and then eventually, eventually chapter 7 will be uploaded at some point, but Sunday stream will be sometime in between there, I guess. Maybe could be, I don't know, spring or summer. Realistically, might be summer. I don't know. I do hope to get the Paper Derpy movie done this year. That would be cool, or maybe at least just one chapter. Because I was talking today about the character with the big stick. I was like, that kind of drew me off for so long. That's like, I kind of didn't want to work on it, and then on the movie, because like that's so much work. I was like, I wanted to take a break, and my break took about a whole year. So excited to get back on it. Rework on that. Get back to working on it. So yeah. So I'm gonna be busy. So I hope you catch along. I don't know what the verb is. Yeah, just follow along with me and come along with me, and we'll do a whole bunch of stuff for this year. So hope to make this. It sounds pretty packed, and it is if I do everything. So I'll just take it one day at a time and try and work on something every day, and then eventually things will hopefully get done by then. Before too long. So, but yeah. Anything else? Let's see. So yeah, recap, whole bunch of stuff. Next week we'll be following up on the Valentine's Day. We'll work on that animation video. And then the week after that, we'll go back to Color Splash and then work on that. And then keep working on more and more stuff. Then I'll talk later whether I want to do it'll be the 10th anniversary of my Derpy test animation this year. So around September, I think. So I could look that up real quick. Yep, September 30th, 2014. So it'll be the 10th anniversary of that. So I want to do either. We'll figure that out at that time later on, whether or not I want to do just a remake of the animation itself, or do some spin-off or some Derpy Crusher Girls animation of some sort. But I'll be able to use Toon Boom, which will help me a lot with animation. At least to be able to have better tools at my disposal. But yeah, we'll figure that out whether or not I want to do just a shot-for-shot animation remake, hopefully with better animation, or do something different. But yeah, definitely do something Aggressive Girls related of some sort. Would be fun to accommodate 10 years of it. Quickly see. I want to see how many views he got. I haven't been checking. I haven't checked in like a year or so. Just want to see. Oh dear. 4.8 million? Huh. Yeah, I got it around. Wow. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. I know it's not the best. That's why I want to do some, make up for it by doing something better. With 10 years of animation experience under my belt, I want to do something a little better. Won't be as popular, I know that, but it'll just be fun, and I'll be able to see like, wow, look how much I progressed. Guess I popped up a little too early, and yeah. Well, thanks guys for that. Anyway, I think I'll head out now. So thanks everyone for keeping up with me for, hopefully some of you guys, for over 10 years or something. That'd be crazy. Yeah, more stuff coming down the pipeline. Way too much stuff in this year. So gonna be busy. So yeah. Hope to see you guys with catch up with all that again. Yeah. So yeah, thanks guys. I think I'll catch you next week. Yeah. Have a good week. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Meebwin. Hope everyone does have a good Valentine's Day, Tarts and Divs / whatever. If I don't see you next week. So we'll just keep rolling. Alrighty. Thanks guys. See you next week. And we'll continue with more Valentine's Day animation and then much more later on. So, yep. Lots more to come. So, stay tuned. Thank you. Bye-bye.